All right, guys, welcome back to the channel. I hope you guys are doing great today. It's a beautiful day. It's a great day to make another video. And of course, I'm going to continue talking about Kirby Air Riders and Metroid Prime 4. Since these are the big holiday titles right now, we do know that Kirby Air Riders is coming out this November, which is freaking awesome. I can't wait. I'm going to have to see if I'm working that day so I could take that day off and, take the rest of the week off even, just so I could play this game and not have to wait. Metroid Prime 4 still does not have a release date. We're going to get into that. We're going to talk about that. But the main topic of this video, and before I get to that, I do want to say shout out to my new subscribers. I had 40 subscribers this week. Now I have 43 as of this recording. Maybe more, who knows, but 43 subscribers. Shout out to these new subscribers. Thank you for subscribing and enjoying my videos. And feel free to leave comments. Don't be a stranger. Leave some comments. Engage with the other guys who leave comments. It's always good to hear your thoughts and opinions about these different subjects and whatnot regarding Nintendo, regarding Kirby Air Riders and Metroid Prime 4. So, with that being said, let's get into the topic. Will Kirby Air Riders and Metroid Prime 4, will these games be having their Breath of the Wild moment? What I mean by that is, of course, are they going to be able to reach a bigger, much bigger audience that they've ever seen, and will they be able to sell 20 to 30 million copies? I am really hoping so. I'm hoping both these games will be massive successes and will be able to appeal to a much broader audience. Now, I have complained in the past few weeks, few months even, that Metroid Prime 4 has looked very boring from the footage that they've shown us. They have not shown us much of that game, and so I don't have much confidence and faith in them. But somebody did make a valid argument in my last video that, well, you know what? Nintendo does do last-minute marketing, so they're probably just waiting until the last minute. I hope that's the case. I'm still disappointed that they chose to show us very lame and underwhelming footage of the game, but I'm gonna give Retro Studios the benefit of the doubt and assume that they're gonna do that. They're gonna release some great footage really soon. Kirby, on the other hand, Masahiro Sakurai, he's already shown us 45 minutes of just pure awesomeness. Everything we've seen so far for Kirby Air Riders, it looks freaking awesome. And the reason I think this game could definitely have its Breath of the Wild moment, if not, maybe it's, maybe a better comparison would be its Super Smash Brothers moment, is because it literally is Super Smash Brothers on wheels. So this isn't just a racing game. In fact, it's, it has racing in it, but many people are calling this a driving action game, a melee game with vehicles, essentially, which is freaking awesome, which is something I really love. Those are my favorite type of driving games. I love to get, Twisted Metal is probably one of the few games that I care for on PlayStation. What's another really good driving game that's like a melee game on wheels? I would say there's, I'm trying to remember. Oh yeah, so there was like a WWE Crash Hour game, and that was literally a WWE game where you play as the WWE wrestlers who all have their own little vehicle that has guns on it and stuff like that. That was such a fun freaking game right there. I love that game. Probably one of the best WWE games ever made. If you never played Crush Hour, WWE Crush Hour, yeah, you definitely missed out. And funny enough, that was on the GameCube, and Kirby Air Ride was on the GameCube as well. Unfortunately, I never heard of it and never played it, and I wish I did, because it looked like it was a fun game. Now, even though Kirby Air Ride, the original, looked like a fun game, many people didn't really give it the time of day because they didn't care for the racing mode. But I think a lot of those people who didn't care for the racing mode, they probably didn't even play the city trial. And that's literally the main event. According to Masahiro Sakurai himself, that is the main event. That's what every fan of the game says. They says that is where it's at. If you want to have fun with that game, you play the city trial. And from what they showed, yeah, that city trial mode looks freaking awesome. It looks epic. It's going to have 16 players as opposed to just 4 players. Really huge. That's 4 times the amount right there. So I'm very excited for this game. And I have confidence that this will be a game that could reach Super Smash Brothers numbers, like 30 million or more. But you know what? I'm gonna say this. I am so optimistic about this game that I actually think it could actually do up to like 70 million copies in its lifetime. Now, you probably think that's crazy. Okay, no, it's not going to do that. And many people think this ain't going to be a game that sells 20 million copies. And I'm thinking to myself, well, let's see. First of all, it's like a Super Smash Brothers game on wheels, okay? Super Smash Brothers, everybody loves that fighting game, one of the best action-packed fighting games there is. And if you ask me, I think people are way more interested in a fighting melee game that has vehicles in it as opposed to one that is just a 2D fighting, like a 2D fighting game like Super Smash Brothers, where you could only go left and right, up and down. I really think that. Otherwise, why did Mario Kart 8 Deluxe sell 68 million copies so far, whereas Super Smash Brothers has only done about 30, I believe it's 36 million. I'm not sure. I could be getting that wrong. It's probably 26 million. I don't know. It's a big number. You know what? I think it's 34 million. I think Super Smash Brothers has sold 34 million copies, which is great. It's phenomenal. But that's still half of what what Mario Kart 8 has sold. So Mario Kart 8 has sold that much, that many units, which is close to 70 million. They're probably going to hit 70 million copies in their lifetime. And Super Smash Brothers has done less than that. Well, Kirby Air Riders, not only is it going to appeal to people who love those, chaotic racing games, it's going to appeal to people who love chaotic fighting games. So it's like Kirby Air Riders is basically, it takes the best of Super Smash Brothers and Mario Kart 8 and combines it into this really awesome, chaotic Kirby fighting game that is basically a fighting game on wheels. So I have a lot of optimism that this game is going to do way better than what people are suggesting it's going to do. Just look at it. Look how freaking chaotic this is. Look how fun that is. Even Sakurai himself is just having a good time. People think that's just him, promoting his game, but he, you don't really. He's playing the final product, for the very first time. Just look how fun it is. That big, huge map. All these items you can collect. These, these different attribute boosters and whatnot, and you collect all of these, and then you go into like a different game mode, and you start duking it out. This looks like it's going to be so freaking fun, so freaking chaotic. I definitely see this game having its, Super Smash Brothers / Breath of the Wild moment. It may not be a revolutionary game when it comes to Kirby, because there already was a Kirby Air Ride, but it's definitely evolutionary. It's definitely a much bigger game than its predecessor, and it's looking like it's going to be, our Super Smash Brothers game for the Switch 2 so far, before they actually do give us a Super Smash Brothers game. So I can't wait for this. I think this is going to just be pure awesomeness. I cannot wait. You guys let me know what you think about Kirby Air Riders and whether you think it could actually have that success, whether it will. The only thing that's kind of working against it is the fact that it's not a big crossover game like Super Smash Brothers and Mario Kart. So Mario Kart, it's got multiple Nintendo characters in it. Same for Super Smash Brothers, but Super Smash Brothers also has like video game characters from different games and whatnot. Kirby, it's just going to be Kirby characters, which I think is freaking great and awesome, because Kirby does have a lot of cool looking characters in it. I just recently started playing Kirby's Forgotten Land again. That's a game I started playing 6 months ago, believe it or not. And I'm enjoying it. I'm trying to beat it before this game comes out, and I plan on getting Kirby Star Allies. I plan on getting other Kirby games. You guys can let me know what other Kirby games to get. That's definitely something I would like to know, because I want to get more into Kirby, because I think Kirby doesn't get enough love. He's like this adorable little pink baby who's also like extremely overpowered, and you know, he's able to destroy universal threat level bosses. So Kirby's one of the coolest characters from Nintendo, and he's Masahiro Sakurai's character. So definitely hyped for this game. It looks so badass. I do think it will have its Breath of the Wild and Super Smash Bros. Moment, just because it's going to be that big epic fighting game with lots of multiplayer, lots of content added to it. So with all that being said, I'm going to move into the next topic, which will be about Metroid Prime 4. Will Metroid Prime 4 have its big, Breath of the Wild moment? And I'm really hoping that it will. But right now, it's looking like Kirby Air Riders so far has way more hype behind it. All right, so now let's talk about Metroid Prime 4 and whether this game is going to have its Breath of the Wild moment. And between this game and Kirby Air Riders, this one should be the big, system seller. It should be, because this is a game that's, been in development for the last 8 years, since 2016. This is a game that everybody's been waiting for the last 10 years or so. So far, I have been very underwhelmed and disappointed with what they have shown us. Now, you're looking at the game footage right here. It looks great. The graphics look great. I love how you can see giant ships in the background. I love how you see the turrets shooting at the enemy pirates. I love how there's a bunch of Federation soldiers all right there. All that's really badass and whatnot. But what's not cool about the game so far is that they hadn't shown any multiplayer. They hadn't shown any variety when it comes to the environments in the game. So far, what we've seen of this game is this epic battle going on between the Federation and the Space Pirates. You get Samus coming in contact with Silux at the very end of this demo or whatever. Then after that, she gets transported to a planet called Planet Viros, which is like a tropical looking alien planet, but even that planet doesn't really look that amazing. So that's all we've seen of the game so far. We haven't seen any other environments. We hadn't seen that many different bosses. Is Kraid going to be in this game? I would love to see Kraid in this game. It'd be cool to see a glimpse of Ridley. It'd be cool to see these other giant monsters. We've only seen one big monster in this demo. You're going to see it pretty soon here shortly. And it's a very lame boss that just, he moves very slow. He's not threatening at all. He's very easy to kill. You see the Space Pirates right here. Look how stupid they are. They kind of just stand there stationary. I mean, why are they taunting? Like, instead of just shooting and being aggressive, they're just like moving slowly side to side. They're so easy to kill. Look at this. This is really lame. This is the kind of thing that pisses me off right here. They should be much harder. Even the scanning. If you notice how the scanning, anyone who played the Metroid Prime 1 and 2, when you used to scan things, it would give you like a shorter magnifying looking screen that zooms in on them. And I used to really like that. That was really cool. Now they just give, all it is just that little ring right there, that little green loading ring. And that to me just screams laziness. It just screams laziness. They're not even making the scanning look as cool as it used to be. So yeah, I'm just so far I'm very disappointed. All I'm seeing is the graphics look good. There seems to be a heavy emphasis on story, which that's always been a thing with Metroid, but now it's like they're having a lot of like Federation soldiers in the background. That's great. I like this part right here. Right here, you see this giant badass mech with an arm cannon. I'm pretty sure there's going to be a moment where you get to play inside of that thing. And you know what? I'm hoping that's going to be a major part of the game, where they're going to be the world's going to be so big that you literally have to be inside of a big mech like that to kill giant monsters that would easily slaughter Samus. Wouldn't that be awesome? Like there's just certain parts of the map where they're just these giant monsters that are too powerful for Samus, or it's just too many of them, so you have to get inside of that giant mech to kill them. And then there'll be moments where you're going to an enemy pirate base and you're just destroying it with that giant mech. There definitely needs to be some fun, badass moments like that in the game. It can't just be your typical, oh, you're isolated, you're all alone, you're scanning doors, opening doors, and you're looking for power-ups just so you could get to the next area. Look, I'm not saying they need to change the formula. I'm saying they need to add more to the formula. Add more to the formula, you know? Don't let this be the same old thing. See, again, that scanner right there, that is very disappointing. You know, I know that may seem like something little, but come on, really? Why didn't they just give us the little zoom in magnifying screen or whatever that zooms in on what you're scanning? That used to be aesthetically pleasing. This is just very lame. It's very lazy to me. So, you know, can this game have its Breath of the Wild moment? I'm hoping it does. Retro Studios has been working on this game for the last 8 years. They've been working on this game for the last 8 years, but what kind of angers me is that everything they've shown us so far has just been very basic. Just very basic. Look, you can morph into this little morph ball right here. So that way you can, oh, and then they slowed down right here just to show off the little battle right here between the space pirates and the Federation troopers. Look, while that's cool, again, I can't stand the fact that the NPCs are just so dumb and robotic. Why couldn't they just make them like just these artificial, intelligent, you know, players that are like really trying to kill each other? They're not just standing there stationary and just being, you know, easy targets, essentially. The only thing that looks great about the game is how visually pleasing it looks. The enemies, they seem to all have the same death animation when they fall. Another thing I don't like. Again, it's just, so far, the visuals look great, and that's about it, but it needs to be more than that. Especially if you want to see this game sell more than 20 million, 30 million copies or whatever, that's what it's going to have to do. Now, I was talking before about the psychic abilities that they've shown off, and how the only thing they decided to showcase with those psychic abilities was the ability to control mechanisms like levers or something, and the ability to open doors. And I remember when the narrator was talking about that, he's like, with this new psychic ability, you'll be able to control mechanisms and open doors. And I remember just thinking, I'm like, does this guy play video games? Does he ever play video games or something? Like, how can you act like that's so cool and interesting? Like, wow, I could use my psychic ability to open a door, you know, instead of just, you know, pressing the A button to open a door that way. It's very stupid, you know. And yes, I know it's like, oh, okay, you get to open doors that are hard to open by using the psychic ability. That's still very lame and boring, though. Now, what would be cool is if we end up getting a big reveal that you can use the psychic ability to take over the body of an enemy pirate in order to walk into a really big base that is heavily guarded, heavily guarded with some really dangerous enemies that Samus herself won't be able to go into, in order to find intel, maybe even in order to find a power-up that Samus needs, maybe in order to, you know, get inside of a big spaceship or a mech to start destroying it. I mean, come on, there's so much potential when it comes to this game. I'm really hoping that they thought of these things. I'm really hoping that they said, you know what, we're going to make this game so much bigger and so much more epic than the previous games. It's going to have that Breath of the Wild success. That's what I'm talking about, you know? And when I say these things, unfortunately, Metroid Prime 4 defenders they'll just say these really stupid things like, you know, Metroid Prime, you know, they're playing it safe and they're sticking with the same formula because that's what Metroid Prime is. And I'm like, stop saying that shit, because that is as stupid and ignorant as saying it would be like if Mario 64 had just kept sticking with just that. You know, you go into the castle, go into a picture, and you play different little maps or whatever. And they never evolved from that. They never, you know, made a Mario Galaxy or Mario Sunshine. You know, Mario wouldn't even be as popular as it is today if they had stuck with the same old formula. And, you know, oh, here's the boss. Here's that boss battle. Abarax is his name. So look, you got this big monster. He looks like a giant beetle. Yeah, look how stupid. Like, is he even trying to kill you? No, he's so slow, so lame. Couldn't they make this just a little more intense? So this is the problem I have with the game. This right here, it's the enemies, the NPCs being this weak and easy to destroy. People complain about the NPCs and people complain about the boss battles right now in Donkey Kong Bonanza or in some of the Mario games, but no one's complaining about this right here. I mean, this is a joke. Look how easy it is to defeat this guy. So hopefully we get bigger and better bosses that are harder to fight. And hopefully there will be a player versus environment. Player versus player versus environment, like a PvPE. PvPvE, all right? Player versus environment, where you're not only fighting against other players or whatever, like, you know, you could be the pirates or the Federation fighting against the pirates, whatever. But then you'll also have to fight against monsters as well, big monsters that will come in. And if you destroy them, you know, maybe it'll unlock a mech that you can go into, and then you'll be able to like really start raining down some heavy fire on the enemy team. There's just so much potential, guys. There's so much potential, and Retro Studios, I really want them. I'm really hoping that they're going to do something like this. I'm really hoping that they're prioritizing fun over just making it a very beautiful Metro game. Like right now, these graphics look amazing. Everything here looks nice. It just looks boring and simple. That's my big problem with it. But it's amazing how people can't see that, because all they see is just how good the graphics look, just that. But you know, even with the good graphics, like the art style of the game is very disappointing. Let's be real. The art style is pretty bland and basic. I mean, when you go to Planet Veros, like, yeah, it looks like a nice tropical map, but it still looks just very basic. It just doesn't look that beautiful, you know? I feel like Metroid Dread had a more beautiful art style than this. So yeah, guys, Kirby Air Riders, I have a lot of faith that it can be like as successful as Super Smash Bros. And Breath of the Wild. Metroid Prime 4, so far, I don't have that faith, but if it is true that they're probably going to, you know, do last-minute marketing on this game and just show us the really good stuff about this game, maybe this could have the potential. Because right now, there are a lot of Metroid fans, hardcore Metroid fans, who are going to buy this game, even with, you know, just the lack of awesome footage that we've seen of it so far. People are excited for this game. Now, if they just do something to appeal to a broader audience, a broader demographic, then yeah, maybe this game will do like 20 million sales, especially if they have a multiplayer, especially if they had time travel in the game. That's another thing I want this game to have in order for it to be successful. If there's like, I mean, let's say, you know, there's a certain area, there's like certain maps or whatever where, you know, you'll find different things in it only if you travel to a specific point in time in that same location. That would be a really cool concept, would it not? Now, because the game is called, oh look, there goes Silex. He's gonna be the main villain. He looks like a badass. But right here, they make him look so stupid. Look. So he misses, and then she shoots and knocks him down. Now, some people are saying that he meant to shoot the thing that he shot, which is that teleportation device, that portal or whatever. He wasn't trying to shoot Samus, he was just trying to shoot her, because he is supposed to be a sharpshooter. Okay, fine, but still, why did they have to have her shoot him and knock him down and just make him look weak like that? Anyways, the game, I'm sure, will be epic. It probably will be epic. It'll probably have an awesome story mode, but it's got to do more than that, like I said. Let me rewind, or let me, anyways, yeah, let me just replay it. But yeah, the game's got to do a lot more than just be a good Metroid game. It's got to do more than that. And like I said, if they have like some time traveling mechanics in the game, that would be awesome. Moments where you have to get inside of the mech. How about moments where you could jump into Samus's spaceship and fly above the map and to shoot down enemy bases, but you could only do it once the enemy turrets are taken out, you know, because otherwise it'll be too dangerous. Man, there's just so much that they can freaking do with this. So, yeah, anyways, I'm kind of just rambling on at this point. I had something else I wanted to add as far as what can make this game. Oh, yeah, Silex. That would be cool if there's just like a bonus where you can play as Silex and you can kind of revisit his story, but maybe that'll be for like a later game. Anyways, again, yes, the graphics look great. The game looks good visually. I am just disappointed with the lack of content, but who knows? We might get a dedicated Metroid Prime 4 Direct really soon, and it's probably going to blow us away. I want this game, and I want Kirby Air Riders to both be extremely successful. I want them to have that Breath of the Wild moment that they deserve. So, yeah, I love both of these games. I'm not like these idiots who are just like, oh, screw Kirby Air Riders. I just want Metroid Prime 4. Like, that's ignorant. Don't be stupid. Don't be one of those guys, all right? If you're one of those guys, just don't be like that, all right? Don't be like that. It's a good freaking game. Masahiro Sakurai deserves way more respect and appreciation than that, because he has been doing a great job. So, you know, don't be one-dimensional. Go out there, get both games, all right? Get both games. Get Kirby Air Riders, get Metroid Prime 4. Because, you know, we should be supporting most of these big Nintendo games. Even if Metroid Prime 4 ends up just being another run-of-the-mill Metroid game, I'm still going to buy it. I'm still going to play it and support it. And, you know, if it ends up being a disappointment, I'll talk about it or whatever, because we need games to be better. But besides that, yeah. Hoping both these games do well. All of you guys watching this video, please leave your thoughts and comments in the comment section below. Let's talk about this. Which game do you think is going to be more successful? Which game is going to have their Breath of the Wild moment? Do you think they will both be very successful? Which game will outsell the other? Which one will reach a broader audience? You guys let me know. Let me know if you think there's going to be a Prime 4 Direct. Let me know if you think they're going to have a big blowout right before the game launches. And let me know when you think the game's going to come out. People are already saying, oh, it's probably going to come out September before Kirby Air Riders. I don't know. I think it might come out in December. To me, it looks like a December game. And I would much rather get my hands on Kirby Air Riders before this game, you know? So, we'll see. But yeah, give the video a like. Leave some comments in the comment section. Let me know what you guys think about all of this, and I will definitely reply to you. And hopefully I'll get some more videos out soon. So till then, you guys take care. Later.